Okay. So there are different models that we have. You can go for pay per minute, pay per hour, or pay per execution. So pay per minute is basically, it's not common, like all the services will follow this. Depend what type of service it is, on that basis it is going to charge. First of all, before that, there are three different model also, on that basis that is going to charge. First is the pay as you go model that I mentioned. And then after that, you have a 30% discount you will get when you are going for the 3-year reserve plan. And then you have a 5-year reserve plan. So in the pay as you go model, you will be getting monthly invoice. Whatever amount is going to come, on that basis, you need to pay the monthly bills. Now in the 3-year reservation plan, you will be getting like, okay, from today onwards, I am going to be committed to use Microsoft Azure services for upcoming 3 years. So you can opt for 3-year reservation plan. And generally, if you are starting any project on Azure, it will take up to 3 years, minimum 3 years. Generally, you can see that, okay, client used to go for this 3-year reservation plan where you will get 30 to like 50% discount on your monthly bill if you are going 3-year reserve plan. Right? Where whatever costs are coming up, that on that you will get 30 to 50% discount. Then you have a 5-year reservation plan. Then in that 5-year reservation plan, here basically you can go ahead with, you can get up to 50 to 70% discount. And that's why Microsoft Azure is preferably choice for the organization, because up to 50 to 70% discount it is provided. Depend what is the configuration and the support also that provided. So that's why people are moving from AWS to Azure. Nowadays, if you see, because here there are multiple uh, benefits in comparison to cost also you are getting. Because in the AWS, if your account is active, then also you will be ending up paying the $200 cost or something configuration what you have. So that's why here you can see you will be getting pay as you go model. If you, I don't want to go any reservation plan, I'm just exploring and I newly purchased the subscription, I can go for pay as you go model. Whatever services you have configured, you can go for the monthly billing. Then you have a 3-year reservation plan where you can opt for 30 to 50%. But yes, you need to be committed that I'm going to use Microsoft Azure for upcoming 3 years. Then after that, you have a 5-year reservation plan where you will be getting 50 to 70% discount. Depend, okay. Now this time you need to committedly use Microsoft Azure services for coming 5 years over here. Okay, for upcoming 5 years, I am going to use the Microsoft Azure service. And how you are going to pay the cost? It's not like here, if I'm creating 10 services, for all the 10 services, you will be paying the same cost. No, here for each service, the cost will be different. It depends what configuration you have done, okay, what type of service it is, in which location you have deployed that services. Okay, so all these things or aspects comes in the picture over here. Like if I'm going to deploy a database and I'm going to deploy a machine learning workspace, both are not going to charge you same, right? It is basically depend that, okay, in which location you are deploying and what type of service it is. Like again, I'm deploying two database. One I deploy basic, another I deploy the premium. Obviously, the cost is going to vary. So there are certain key factors that depend on the cost. We cannot consider that always I'm going to receive the same amount of cost for all the different type of service. So that's why there is no fixed amount, okay, in the agreement side. There is always that cost will vary monthly. And if you are going for pay as you go model, it depends what services you have used, what type of data you have loaded. Like I'm using terabyte of data I'm uploading. Obviously, the cost will increase. right? So all these things, or it's these are the key factor on that basis your costs are going to vary. So some of the services are going to charge you per minute. If you are keep up and running the service, it will be start charging you on minute basis. Some of the services are going to charge you per hour. That okay, if your particular service is up and running on that basis, here it is going to be charging you on hourly basis. Then per execution, here if you are running that, you are using that, it's fine. But if you are running that services, for that you are going to pay per hour, like your Azure Data Factory, that is charging you per execution. You created the flow, but until unless you are not running that pipeline, you are not executing that particular jobs, you are not going to pay the cost. Your virtual machine on Azure are going to charge you per hour basis. Okay, VM on Azure basically you have, that is going to charge you per hour basis. That is going to come that here if your VM is up and running, then you will be chargeable. Okay, and in the per execution side, you can consider ADF, that is charging you on particular uh, per execution wise. Okay. Then per minute, where particular services could be up and running, but it's not necessarily that okay, you are going to use it, like okay, stream analytics services that you can consider. Okay, it is basically going to charge you on the per minute basis.